Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing another Swiss pre-release Magic Origins draft. We opened it's a good rare. Definitely is a good rare. It is a 7 mana, it's a 7 drop. I almost don't want to first pick it because it's a 7 drop and just like take the Fiery Impulse, take the removal. I mean, this is a bomb-centric format, but this card's not busted. I don't want you to think... I've played against it, and it is very good, but it's not easy. It's not very easy to get to. I think it might actually be in my best interest to just take the removal. It does kind of suck that Fiery Impulse is like not a nuts piece of removal, but it is a good piece of removal. I don't like first picking 7 drops, and this card's not broken, like I said. It's just pretty good rather than like amazing. I'm going to take the removal. Okay. Follow-up pick. Well, best card in the pack. Honestly, it's a pretty unexciting pack all around. Dwynen's Elite's pretty good. Sigil of the Empty Throne. Sigil of the Empty Throne is actually pretty interesting. This early... It's very possible I could try build around it, maybe. It's certainly the most like... It's like the pick with the most potential upside in this pack. Since it is a rare. And it's a powerful effect. If you have enough enchantments, it's absolutely game breaking. And you can even get those Hartebeests to search it up, I believe, or is those actually, is that only auras? Maybe that's only auras. But even if it's only auras, Sigil is going to be a really good card to have with the Hartebeest. I'm just going to take it. Like I said, it's the card with the most upside. I'm not necessarily going to build towards it. Oh wow, Thopter Engineer seems pretty good. Actually, is it better than the Gearcrafter? They're the same cost. But this gives your artifact creatures haste. That's probably better. A lot of good red cards in here, so that's good. I might just want the suppression bonds. It feels like a better follow-up with the Sigil, and it's just straight up some solid removal. It definitely feels better with the Sigil, absolutely. And this is actually something for sure I can search up with the Hartebeest. I do think Thopter Engineer and Gearcrafter are pretty good, though, but we're going to take the suppression bonds. Okay. Third pick. Well, Skyraker Giant's not bad. I don't know about red-white enchantments. That seems a bit weird, but, like, I feel like the Skyraker Giant's the best card in this pack. There's nothing else in here that's like crazy good. Chandra's Fury is a decent card, but I think I'd rather have the Giant. 4/3 Reach is... This is a really efficiently costed creature, actually. And I don't even know, has Reach been in red before? I think it actually has on like a Planar Chaos wall. I forget what the name of that wall is, but it's like an 0/5 that bounces anything it blocks. But Reach in red, I feel like is pretty rare. Actually, there's a Spider in Planar Chaos Red that also has Reach, but it's pretty unusual. I'm going to take it. Okay, I mean, really, ideally, I think you want black-white, because you want, like, Blightcaster with this, but it kind of feels like I haven't seen a ton of good black yet. Okay, this is a bit of a miss, unfortunately. The best card in the pack, I presume, is Eyeblight Assassin or maybe the first Timberpack Wolf, but both of those sort of commit me to... I probably just take the Assassin. Like I said, I think the ideal direction if I want this Sigil to work out is black-white, because you get a lot of good auras. And Eyeblight Assassin is a card that can kill things. So I think we're going Eyeblight Assassin here. Okay, this is interesting. Consecrated by Blood is going to synergize the best with the Sigil, and it's a pretty good card in general. Fetid Imp is pretty good too. There is a Crow and Sergeant if I would like to stay on the red plan, which is interesting. There's also a Mantle of Webs. Maybe green-white auras is also, I presume, something that can work, but I do want to sort of pull the trigger on an archetype here. I think a Crow and Sergeant is an excellent card. Consecrated by Blood I haven't played with yet, but +2/+2 flying and a way to save it is pretty good. I might just want the Fetid Imp, though. I'm going to take the Consecrated by Blood. I'm going to see what I think of this card, because I think it actually is a pretty good card in general. All right, Kithian's Tactics, not exactly what I'm trying. I think we just take Evolving Wilds here, get some fixing. Maybe I splash for Fiery Impulse, or I don't know yet. We'll see. All right, I get a Fetid Imp now. I think that's a late enough Fetid Imp where I should feel good about black. But now I guess I'm starting to get a little worried about white. White is clearly the most popular color in the format, seeing as it's just got so many powerful cards. But we'll take the Imp there. Okay, Shadows of the Past is actually perfect since it not only works with Sigil of the Empty Throne, but it's a good card in general. And there's some really interesting... I mean, whenever a creature dies, scry one is already good. Granted, it doesn't do anything until you have 4 or more creature cards in your graveyard, but I watched LSV stream with Shadows of the Past, and by the end of the game, he was down... I believe he was at like 5 life, and his opponent was at 50. He stabilized the board and got to 15 mana, and was activating it 3 times a turn, and for the win, too. It was absolutely... It was bonkers. All right, Infernal Scarring seems like a good card with the Sigil. I guess we'll take it. I mean, okay. I've got a direction now. Active Treason works really well with the sacrifice cards in black and red, but Bloodsucker seems like a card I probably want if I'm in black. It's a fine card. It's not amazing, but seems slightly more exciting than Veteran's Sidearm. We're also pretty creature light currently. I guess we'll cut black. I don't know if I even want to play Dark Dabbling. All right, Return Centaur has got the Shadows of the Past synergy. It's also a decent blocker. And we want to cut black, I think, at this point. Black seems to be working out pretty well. All right. Get another aura. Okay. I think I'm pretty happy with the direction we want to do. It is clear that white's getting cut, but Sigil is just such an important part of what I'm trying to do. If I can find some Blight casters, maybe I can really make this work. But like I said, yes, it's clear that white's getting cut. But at the same time, I kind of want to make this enchantment work. There is a Read the Bones, which is good. Fleshbag Marauder is also good, though. This is just one of those mini cards that works well with the Active Treason effect. Avaricious Dragon is, of course, good. Synergizes well with Shadows of the Past, sort of. Well, you really don't want to discard your hand that bad. I think Avaricious Dragon's got value. I better check that. It looks like it went down quite a bit, actually. It was at like 4 tickets, and now it's at like 1.8. I think I actually want to take a card that's for our deck then. I might just take Fleshbag Marauder. I like Read the Bones too, though. I'm going to take Fleshbag Marauder. I just want some removal. We're actually pretty removal light at the moment. Okay, Reeve Soul is very good. There's a Tower Geist in here too, but I think Reeve Soul is just good enough to take here. Some solid removal. I think Mantle, well, here's our Blightcaster. All right. What I really like about Blightcaster here is it's going to give us rewards for taking the black auras and enchantments that we have. And future ones are just going to get icing on the cake. So then we at least have a good, like, solid enchantment plan. Skysnare Spider is very strong. But I'm going to take Blightcaster. I think we're trying to, like, gear up for a nice, like, black-white enchantment aura deck if we can. Yeah, Mantle can go too. All right, let's take Patron here. Like I said, white's getting cut, but I want this deck to work now. Like, now that we have Sigil and Blightcaster, I really think this black-white enchantment deck could come together. Like, here's a Grasp in here too, but Patron is just a very nice finisher. Very strong card. Wow, back-to-back Patrons is, like, really nice. I mean, these are not quite Sarah Angels, but 5 mana 4/4 is still close enough to Sarah Angel where I'm going to take it. I don't think we've got +1/+1 counter synergy with it, but like I said, 5 mana 4/4 flying, you really can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with that. This deck needs some work, I admit, but I like that we have a game plan going here. I would like some more auras if possible. I guess we only have like 4 at the moment, but I feel like we can find some more. Oh my god, Past Sentinel is like... I thought white was... I have no idea why this card's here. I thought white was getting cut. Yeah, I mean, granted, there's Auramancer in here. I'm not going to pass Sentinel, the Internal Watch. This card is just... I think they just design errored this card really hard. Like, 6 mana, not color intensive, 4/6. Already pretty good. Vigilance, okay. At the beginning of combat in each opponent's turn, you get to choose. So your opponent doesn't even get to choose what to tap. It's got Vigilance. Like, why is this not rare? Or why does it have Vigilance? Or why do you get to choose what to tap? Why is it not color intensive? There's so many, like, design questions on this card that I don't get why they made it an uncommon. It seems like a card that you really wouldn't want at uncommon in limited because it's so backbreaking. Our game plan, like, by the way, double patron into Sentinel, our deck just got like 3 times better with those last 3 picks. Insanely better. This is another great pick for us. We're going to take the Fetid Imp. I really like Imp a lot in general, and in this deck that really just gets highly rewarded for getting to the late game, Fetid Imp is fantastic. It also seems like a great card with Shadows of the Past, since it's something that is probably going to trade and puts creatures in your graveyard and scries for you at the same time. So just a really valuable card to have for us. Auramancer's getting slammed here. Currently not the best, I admit, but we need to find... This deck needs, like, Weight of the Underworld. We just need more auras, because we don't quite have enough yet. I don't think I need the Battle Priest. I'm going to take the Ascetic, since it's a sideboard card, and it seems like it's a decent sideboard card against us. This deck still needs some more work, despite the fact that we've got these awesome finishers. I think I want Evolving Wilds number 2. I'm going to really... If I find off-color auras or enchantments that are worthy of splashing, I'm just going to take them. All right, first Undead Servant now seems a bit late, but I'm going to take it anyway. I mean, there's a chance I find some more. Cullblade versus Return Centaur number 2. I feel like 4-drops are easier to come by. Cullblade's actually okay with this deck. Here's our Infernal Scarring. We'll take it. I think we're playing it too, honestly. I mean, this card's not that exciting, to be honest, but we'll take it anyway. All right, you know what? I like the place we're at. Obviously, we need some more enchantments, but at least we have a couple Infernal Scarrings, which feel like they're okay for us, since at the very least, if you resolve it, you're going to end up, drawing a card. I guess that's not necessarily true if they bounce or something like that, but... let's see if a foil Displacement Wave is worth anything. Okay, it's not worth anything, so let's look for some playable cards. I think Shambling Ghoul is going to have to be the pick, since it's on color, it's a 2-drop. It's something that we can slam our Infernal Scarring on. And I admit, it's actually a pretty unexciting first pick, but I don't like charging Griffin much in general, especially after that last draft, but especially since I'm just like already a little bit 4-drop heavy. I'm going to take the Shambling Ghoul. I think Angel's Tomb is okay too, but I want stuff I can actually stick my auras onto. Cruel Revival, on the other hand, is insane. Just a fantastic card. There is Suppression Bonds too. This is actually really difficult. I think for synergies purposes, I think I want the Suppression Bonds, which kind of sucks, I admit. But, wow, Mana Gorger Hydra too? Jeez. All right. This really sucks, but I'm gonna take the suppression bonds. I mean, it only sucks because I'm passing a Cruel Revival, which is just an insane card. But Suppression Bonds is just so synergistically like what this deck wants. Not only do we have Blightcaster, we have Sigil of the Empty Throne, and we have Auramancer. So even if they deal with Suppression Bonds, we can find to get it back. It's tough, but I'm going to take a worse card that's much better with our deck. I think Touch of Moonglove can already get the boot here. Yeah, I'm just... Suppression Bonds, too good with our deck, I think, to pass up. All right, Dark Petition's actually kind of interesting since it's not a very good card in general, but when you're running Sigil of the Empty Throne, it's actually like something our deck could want. But our deck is still very good regardless of whether we have Sigil of the Empty Throne. Like, the problem is we actually don't have that many ways to get Spell Mastery. And I think Deadbridge Shaman is just like more in line with something I'd want since it's a very good creature in general. It trades. Making them discard is good. It's good Fleshbag Marauder fodder. Not that that should necessarily... I mean, I could just take the rare effect, but if I'm paying 5 mana to find a Sigil, it just seems so... It seems so slow. I don't like it that much, I don't think. I think we end up cutting Return Centaur for that. Deadbridge Shaman strikes me as another card that's good with Infernal Scarring. Making them discard and me drawing seems really good. All right, Consecrated by Blood number 2. I think we're probably just taking more auras, and this one is particularly good. There is Shambling Ghoul, rather, which another Shambling Ghoul I wouldn't mind, but I think Consecrated by Blood is just... I think it's a pretty strong aura, actually. And once again, synergistically feels correct in this deck. I think Undead Servant can get the boot. It seems just a bit slow. Another Shambling Ghoul is good. We're going to take the blood. I want all of these auras. Hallowed Moonlight. It's okay. You know, honestly, Thornbow Archer seems like, oddly enough, an okay card for our deck because it's not a great card, but we've got multiple Infernal Scarrings, which we're probably playing. We have multiple Consecrated by Bloods, which we're definitely playing. I think Dark Dabbling can get the boot, because we're just basically wanting to play as many auras as possible. I don't actually think Thornbow Archer is very good, I admit, but it seems like the pick that's good for us with all of our auras. Like, we want a lot of creatures to make these auras good. I'll take the Grasp. I mean, it's an aura. Bonded Construct. Yeah, you know, I like the card. And we're still on the hunt for more things to stick auras on, I guess. I mean, Bonded Construct into Infernal Scarring, not the best, but you can still, like, defend. And if it dies, you draw. It's not bad. It's a way to buy some time. I don't think Bonded Construct's great for this deck, but I think it's still the pick for us. Tormented Thoughts. That's interesting. Probably want the Macabre Waltz. Decent card in general. Doesn't synergize well with our Shadows of the Past, I guess, but I think we'll take it regardless. Actually, we could take Murder Investigation, huh? I'll try it. I don't know if we play it. God, more Chandra's Furies? I could take Charging Griffin here. I guess, you know, it's like a pretty strict upgrade from, like, Bonded Construct. It's not really a card I think is great for this deck, but it's probably an upgrade. I don't really want heavy infantry. All right, Bloodsucker number 2 I might be okay with, although we're pretty good on the 5-drop spot. Like, I don't think Sidearm's really what we're looking for. I guess we take the Bloodsucker. All right. I don't think we're playing it, though. All right. I think I actually just hate an Aeronaut here. I'm not going to play a Battle Priest. All right. We got the Scarring back, number 3. Return Centaur, sure. All right. We have plenty of cards that are good for our deck. We have a great game plan in terms of. I mean, it was pretty clear white was getting cut, but when you have two Patron of the Valiance and a Sentinel of the Eternal Watch and a Sigil with infinite auras, I think you're fine, just fine running white. I do have double Evolving Wilds, which actually isn't that great for our deck anymore since we're not like splashing anything. I could splash Fiery Impulse, but it seems like a waste. This deck looks fun. This deck certainly looks fun. We just have to come up with some game plan action here. All right, let's cut Return Centaur. We have enough 4-drops. I almost want to keep like all of my. What's Shadows of the Past do again? Oh yeah, that's not getting cut. I think Infernal Scarring might just straight up be better than Grasp or Murder Investigation in this deck, but just for diversity's sake, I may want to. How many auras do I have right now? I got 4, 5, or enchantments, I guess. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is a very good number. Maybe I don't want my 1-drops, or I can sideboard into them. Do I want to do 18 lands? You know, honestly, I don't think that's out of the realm of reason here. We have a lot of 5-drops and a 6-drop, but maybe running 18 lands is wrong. We have a lot of 2-drops. We're definitely cutting some auras. Maybe just 2 Infernal Scarrings. I mean, it's not that great. It's really not that great of a card, I admit. Probably Murder Investigation gets the boot too. Honestly, Malachor Cullblade's not very good, but I do have Fleshbag Marauder. I have some Fetid Imps that are going to offer some trades. Rabid Bloodsucker doesn't even seem that good in our deck because we're not an aggro deck. And when you're not an aggro deck, Rabid Bloodsucker comes off as a lot worse. I think we cut a Bloodsucker, at least one. I think we do have to cut some more auras. Probably Murder Investigation gets the boot. You can't even do it with Fleshbag Marauder. I mean, you can, but not the way you want to. I think Murder Investigation just doesn't do anything. It doesn't do enough. So I only have to make one more cut. I don't want to really go below 14 creatures, but at the same time, Rabid Bloodsucker, like I said, just really does not seem like a card I'm going to want for this deck. Going to 13 creatures could be a problem, but we've got some high-value plays, and Sigil is actually kind of like a creature in our deck. Not really, but like sort of. Here's a question. If I put Infernal Scarring on my opponent's creatures, the enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has when this creature dies, draw a card. So because the creature gets to draw a card, does that mean my opponent gets to draw? I feel like it does, but I think we cut Bloodsucker. I'm going to 13 creatures, one of which you sacrifice. Ugh, I don't know. It's scary. It's a little bit scary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, I think I actually cut Grasp because this doesn't strike me as a Grasp deck. The Infernal Scarrings are good offensively and defensively, and then I am going to run one more creature. So let's come up with a creature that I think is ideal for the deck, which might be Bonded Construct because it comes down early, so it gives us some good early defense. Or it could be Return Centaur because it fuels our Shadows of the Past. Or it could be... it's probably not Thornbow Archer in this deck. It's probably Bonded Construct just because it gives me early defense. And it gives me another creature. That's probably correct. I think we do Construct. So my curve's not horrible now. Actually, my curve's pretty decent. My removal is pretty lackluster. Fetid Imps are going to have to do a lot of work for us. Reeve Soul, double suppression bonds. is not bad. I think 17 lands is enough to successfully make this deck work. I'm not sure 18 lands. I'm not convinced of 18 lands. I may want to still do the Evolving Wilds, but I guess we do have some double blacks and some double whites. And they can help to mitigate flood issues. They do fix. They can cause some issues, though. I still think I run them. They make our mana slightly better. So we can hit that double white. We can hit that double black. They can cause the issue of not being able to hit your 4-drop right on the turn you want to. But we stay pretty busy in the 2-drop department. Like, I could see ourselves going, like, Evolving Wilds turn 1, turn 2 Imp, turn 3 Evolving Wilds Infernal Scarring. You know, you can still make plays. It's sucky when you're looking for your 6th mana and it's an Evolving Wilds, when you really need to resolve that Sentinel. But since I have 2 double black and 3 double white, I guess I shouldn't be overly concerned about it. Maybe I just play 1 Evolving Wilds and then do 8-8 split. All right, I think I'm more okay with that. I feel like if I run 2 Evolving Wilds in a deck that's not running a 3rd color, it just doesn't seem beneficial enough. But this way, I've got 9 and 9, so it's like I should be able to hit both my colors, and Evolving Wilds won't mess up my mana progression as badly. This deck looks fun. I mean, we did get the Sigil of the Empty Throne, which I'm excited to play, and we have the Blightcaster, so we have our enchantment theme, you know, going pretty strong, actually. We get to try out cards like Consecrated by Blood. Typically, auras aren't very good, but when you have, like, effects like this that, you know, make them much better, I'm feeling a bit more comfortable with it. So, all right, we're going to try the deck like this. I like the idea of putting a Consecrated by Blood on a Sentinel. That's pretty insane. 6/8 Vigilance, sack 2 creatures to regenerate it, tap their dudes down. It's pretty sick. All right, so a bit removal light, but not bad enough where I'm worried about it. We have a great late game plan with both Sigil, Blightcaster, and Shadows of the Past. We have probably the bare minimum amount of creatures I feel comfortable playing with all of these creature auras. But yeah, this is the deck. This is how I'm running it. We'll see you round 1.